Hey everyone, welcome to the Bolt Hairspring. My name is Ivan, and in today's review we'll be discussing one of the higher end Casio G-shocks, the MTG-B1000D. This is definitely not a watch for everybody, but there are a few things about it that may actually surprise you. So let's get started. The G-Shock MTG lineup sits right between the G-Steel entry-level metal G-Shocks and the MRG lineup, which is the most luxurious. While the MTG models sell for about €1,000, the MRGs cost anywhere from 3 to 10,000 euro. Some of you are wondering right now, but who in their right mind will spend such amount of money on a G-Shock? Well, the majority of people that go for these are just big G-Shock fans. And trust me, there are many out there, including myself. Of course, some people simply like the bold design and appreciate the features these watches come with. But what really makes these two lineups special comes down to three things: technology, build quality, and finishing, which is exactly what I'm going to show you throughout this video by using this MTG as an example. Before we continue with the mighty G-Shock, I would like to show you super quickly what I received yesterday. This Ocean X Sharkmaster V, which is one of the best Rolex Tudor homage watches I have encountered so far. It's built like a tank and it has loads of lume, so expect a full review of this in the following weeks. Stay tuned and consider subscribing so that you don't miss it out. Alright, first thing first, the dimensions. And guys, this is a behemoth of a watch with a lot of wrist presence that catches people's attention all the time. Believe it or not, this is my most complimented watch. Nobody notices my Tudor Black Bay or my Omega Aquaterra or any of my other more expensive watches. This one, however, never goes under the radar. It's just a great conversation starter and I really like that. But back to the point, the case diameter is 55.4mm wide, while the lug-to-lug distance is 52, but the height of the case is actually acceptable, 14.4mm. It's also lighter than you would expect, 166 grams, sized for my 17 centimeters in circumference wrist. On paper, the dimensions sound pretty insane, but in reality, the watch is quite wearable thanks to the articulating end links. For the very same reason, this MTG is also very comfortable. You can see it here on my wrist, which once again is not that big, the watch wraps around nicely, and it also looks pretty cool in my opinion. Obviously, this is a watch that goes best with sportswear. But I'm a person that wears anything, anywhere, anytime. So I do occasionally wear it with a suit at work for 8 hours straight, and I can tell you that it doesn't become uncomfortable. But please do bear in mind that it won't fit under the majority of shirt cuffs. G-Shocks have always had this distinctive, rugged, aggressive looking design, and the MTG B1000 is no exception. The build quality, guys, is also excellent, or better said, over-engineered, and here is why. You get what Casio calls a core guard structure, which refers to the metal frame, bezel, case back, and the band connection points. Then inside that frame there is a carbon fiber reinforced resin case, on top of which there is a thick domed sapphire crystal with AR coating on the inside. This watch is also 200 meters water resistant, and if you have a closer look at the case back, you'll see, well, the whole spec sheet, but also the Triple G logo, which means that your watch is built and designed to resist three kinds of gravitational acceleration: external shocks, centrifugal gravity, and vibrations. I should also mention that the MTG, MRG, and Casio Oceanus lineups are manufactured and assembled in Casio's Yamagata factory, which is also where all premium components are being produced, while regular G-Shocks are usually made in either Thailand, China, or Taiwan. Next, let's talk about the finishing, because things start to get a little bit more interesting here. Casio has gone as far as using 4 different types of finishes, all of which are perfectly executed. Starting by this beautiful beveled edge on the bezel, it's polished by using what's possibly the best high polishing technique that exists today, and I'm sure you have probably heard about it. It's called Salaz, also known as Zaratsu. And this technique produces mirror-like surfaces without distortions, and it's being used only on higher-end Japanese watches, such as Grand Seiko, which is pretty impressive that we can see it on this G-Shock. Then the top of the bezel is brushed with a little bit of bead blasting on the sides, and you also get a knurled crown. The bracelet is nicely finished too, it's mostly brushed with high polished accents, but no Zaratsu. It's also very comfortable as it's layered with red resin on the inside, so your wrist doesn't have any contact with metal except for the case back, which is something that I haven't seen on a watch before. And you also get a decent milled out clasp. Overall, the finishing of the whole watch is brilliant, and it's on par if not even better than Swiss-made watches in the same price range. Although the MTG-B1000 retails for €899 in Spain, you can easily find them online from authorized dealers for at least 15% off. In fact, I paid only €674 for mine during a sale, brand new, which is about 25% off retail. Moving on to the dial, there is a lot of going on here, guys. Everything on it is well finished and the printing is sharp. The hour markers are big, bold, and they are part of the chapter ring, which gives the dial a three-dimensional look. Then the sword style hour and minute hands, together with the hour markers, are textured with vertical lines and reflect the light rather nicely. The dial itself is also textured with a diamond rhombus pattern. It is a busy dial indeed, as there are 3 sub-dials that give you a ton of information. I really love the red accents on the 12 and 6 o'clock dials. The former tells your local time in a 24-hour format, while the latter is for a second time zone which can be easily selected by using the G-shock mobile app. The sub-dial at 9 o'clock is for the day of the week, but when you start cycling through the different modes, it will also indicate the mode you're currently in. So let's get through these real quick. The first mode you can enter by pressing the mode button is your stopwatch, which has a measuring capacity of 24 hours. The second mode is a countdown timer, and it's pretty cool because when you start it, the seconds hand goes backwards. The last one is the alarm mode. To set it, just unscrew the crown, pull it once, and use it to set the time. Next, if you press the mode button one more time, the arrow will show you the battery level, and shortly after, the watch will go back to timekeeping mode. Before we call it a day, let me just tell you a few things about what's powering the watch. Behind the solid stainless steel case back sits the 5544 module, which is tough solar, multi-band 6 and Bluetooth enabled. What that means is that this watch has a solar powered battery and it can receive atomic signal in addition to the Bluetooth time updates from your phone. So if you get this watch, chances are it will be the most accurate in your collection, and you will be using it as a reference to set the rest. What's more, this module counts with 5 tiny but quite powerful motors, which are responsible for driving each hand group quickly and independently. To wrap it up, it's one of the highest tech quartz movements out there that should last you a lifetime. So there you have it, the MTG-B1000 is the most premium G-shock in my collection. If you like the design and don't mind the hefty price tag, then don't think twice and go get it. If not, the GST B200 I reviewed a couple of weeks ago is definitely the more sensible choice. Thanks for watching, this is the end of this review. If you have enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.